All right, I got the LMC power window motor relay kit. I think it was $39. Uh, I think it was well worth it. I mean, I don't think I could make the kit for less than that. On my windows before, on a good day, maybe 6 seconds for it to go down. The problem I was having with both windows was on the way up, they would just pretty much come to a stop at the halfway point. They wouldn't go all the way up. That was on the first cycle, and if you tried to, once you actually got it to go up, if you could, if you try to go back down, it wouldn't even try to do it. So now the windows are at 5 seconds to go down, 5 seconds to go up. That's with the truck off or running. It was pretty easy to install. My question was whether the passenger switch on the driver's side would roll the window on the passenger side down just as fast, or if I had to do more wiring. You don't have to, it rolls it down just as fast. The wiring itself, you got your blue and your brown, which comes down, loops around, and goes to the power window motor. I have new motors in both of my doors, so it wasn't the motor that was causing the issue. They're Dorman motors. I checked the window to make sure the window wasn't getting hung up anywhere. It goes down and it goes up by hand without the motor in there. So it was really just a matter of how much power was it getting. But with this wire, you can cut it underneath the armrest. The brown wire goes to, from the brown wire from the switch goes to the brown wire with the silver dashes. The blue wire from the switch goes to the blue wire with the silver dashes. Then your other half, the blue wire goes to the blue wire with the white stripe on the relay, and then the brown wire goes to the relay with the brown wire and the blue stripe. Repeat the same thing on the passenger side. For getting the wiring to go through the door, I ended up reaching through. I just took another piece of wire that I had laying around and fished it through this way, through the bellow boot, and then through the hole. I took a pair of needle nose, grabbed the wire, pulled it so I'd have something to grab onto. With this end, I just took electrical tape, taped these wires to my wire, and then fed it through with one hand on this end while pulling on the other end with the other hand. So fishing it through. The kit comes with a long side and a short side harness. The long side is on the driver's side, and I have it routed over to the passenger side. Ended up drilling a hole in the firewall since I don't have the firewall grommet that would hold your firewall insulation. I welded my firewall smooth all the way across. So I ended up putting another grommet in there. For here, I ended up cutting this so I can put the wires in there, and then I'll squeeze it together and put it back into the hole. This side, you gotta take the kick panel off. It just makes it easier. On the passenger side, if you're that motivated, you can do it. I didn't do it. I left the kick panel on and just pulled out the kick panel so I could reach in there with a pair of pliers, grab the wires, and pull them up and over. That kick panel is not very easy to do. So, 5 seconds down. Passenger. I've already done it a couple times so the battery's getting low. But with the truck running, it's 5 seconds down, 5 seconds up. And the kit comes with everything that you need in order to be able to sit there and get it all routed through there. Down there is where, if you had the firewall installation, you would have a rubber nipple that would hold the insulation to the firewall. You would just pull it out and run your wires through there. On mine, I just had another one of these grommets. This is from the driver's side. I filled in the hole on that side, so whatever that was for, I just saved it and use it. So it kind of makes it look neat. For the battery, you get the 2 inline fuse holders. You get the 2 fuses with it. Then it's connected to the battery terminal, positive. The reds are on the red. Then the alternator, ended up killing the old alternator, or the old new alternator, because I didn't have the correct wiring on there. So I'll show you that in a second, but I ended up taking the power wire from my Fox body that I had. This is the alternator upgrade kit. I ended up ordering a new mega fuse, which comes with the box and the fuse and everything for it. There's your part number. I got it from Summit Racing. But now, instead of the charge wire coming off the back of the alternator, going to the junction block and then down to the starter and feeding up through here, now the charging comes straight through this cable directly to the battery. It's just over, I think, like 14.3 volts is what the battery is at with it charging. So it ended up working a lot better with the bigger gauge wire. It takes the risk of running a small gauge wire with a newer alternator, puts out more amps. But if you switch over to a serpentine belt system and you're running a newer alternator, there's the wiring, or the plug. It comes with the wiring for it. The red wire goes to the terminal for your charge. The yellow wire goes to your gauges or into your fuse. It's supposed to have a resistor in there. Mine, I didn't have a resistor, which is why I killed the alternator. So I got this from Summit Racing also. That fixed the problem there. There was a AC Delco part. So I fixed that. I got the LMC seat belts. Those are in there. I think they look pretty fancy. I got the shoulder sleeves stuffed into the seat just because you could see the seat foam through the hole. It also keeps the seat belt itself from falling down in there. But they're mounted. The kit comes with these fine thread bolts, which I don't know why. It comes with these big washers. I saw one guy took these washers and painted them black and stuck it on. I don't know. That's the shoulder mount bolt. That's what it should have. My truck is an 85 Chevy, so this bolt's supposed to go in there so that it can pivot around. Your floor bolts are this style bolt, and from the kit, all I used, it comes with 3 bolts, 2 long ones and a short one. I just used the short one, and it comes with an L bracket. I have the short end is on the floor and the long end is holding the seat belt itself, and then I have the short belt, the short bolt ran through to hold it to the L bracket. And I ran it with the long side up because if you switch it around it would hit the floor itself. And then I have the seat belt is mounted underneath the L bracket. So that's how I mounted my seat belt. You just gotta have the factory bolts to do it. And that's it. That's my latest update.